Time being 9 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have one change on the agenda. The Human Services update will not be happening today.
Okay.
Is there any other changes?
Approve the agenda with the correction of removing Human Services update.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Has everyone had a chance to read through the minutes? We need a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion? Sorry.
I'm okay with
Opposed? We're good? Okay. Dan Cheska, please come forward.
Coming today to get approval for a purchase of a new GPS unit for, mostly for my office in zoning, but it will be of use to anybody else if they need it to. The newer units are basically just a GPS unit, which is like a self-contained receiver that Bluetooth attaches to like an iPad or a phone. So we'd like to get the receiver and the phone, or the iPad and the receiver, getting the money out of the Recorder's Compliance Fund that we went through land use and got approved. The total for both the together is about $3,200.
I'm sure a lot of you talked to Dan too. I talked to Dan quite extensively about this. And obviously Bev's okay with it if you're here. And you have plenty of money. I mean, we're not cutting it any.
Plenty of money, but
Enough to cover $3,200, yeah. Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve the,
Yeah, I'll move to approve the purchasing of GPS iPad.
from the Recorder's Compliance Fund?
Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Sounds like a good
All in
thing.
favor?
But you know, my smartphone actually works about like a GPS when I'm on the road.
Well, actually, it uses your same location this does. It
Oh.
just Bluetooths in and takes over that, so instead of 100-foot to 10-foot accuracy, we get 3-foot accuracy or less. So,
That's good. Especially with the detours on the road and construction.
Thank you very
okay,
much.
Thanks.
Have a good day. Ms. Kruger's out of the room. How about if we have Courtney from EDA come forward? Good morning.
So the EDA's been busy this past month working on a bunch of different things. I'm kind of feeling like it's laying the foundation for some bigger projects we're trying to get launched. We did have Senator Klobuchar visit Houston County a couple weeks ago, and we worked with her staff to get her visit here. And we actually went on a tour of Spring Grove Soda. And I was telling everyone that it was a success because she did not spill strawberry pop all over her white jacket. So that was great, and we got to talk to her about some of the workforce issues that we're facing here, and she had a lot of positive reinforcement for some of the ideas that we had on, pipelines from high schools or partnerships with technical colleges and things for a lot of our manufacturers. So that was really good. It was a positive visit. As you know, last week the loan was approved for Mel Chiropractic, who's wanting to purchase their building to expand their business. So they're still, I'm talking with them, and they're still trying to get in the last bid to see if it can go any lower than their proposed amount. But it looks like it's going to be around that margin that we had talked about, between $16,000 and $17,000. So we're working with them on that. We are really wanting, I've been trying to visit a lot of businesses and a lot of meetings with leaders and civic leaders, and we are really hearing a lot about tourism. As I mentioned in my last meeting with you all, tourism is a big thing for a lot of businesses. A lot of our towns don't have the chamber support. Maybe they don't have a chamber, or they have a very part-time person working there, and so we're trying to see what the county can do to kind of bolster some collaboration amongst them and maybe do a Houston County tourism, regional marketing kind of project. So I've been working with some of my EDA members on putting together a meeting, just kind of a brainstorming meeting where we can have these folks come together, chamber directors, business owners, tourism professionals, even citizens who are interested in helping to market the region. And so we're going to be tentatively hosting, I'm still trying to follow up on the details for a rental space, but we're going to hold a meeting in July 21st down in Hoka. And we're going to just kind of see what ideas there are, if there's anything that we can do to help kind of foster that collaboration and go from there. And then a couple other small things. We did the EDA did have a judgment for $15,000 in small claims court on a defaulted loan. So we are working with the county attorney to figure out what our next steps are with that and if we can move forward on collection. I have been, I'm trained with the Small Business Development Center to help coach and counsel small business owners here in Houston County, and so I've had a couple meetings with folks for that, so that's been positive to kind of see what's happening, and working a lot with workforce development, which has been a good relationship too. And then lastly, as you probably heard, APN here in Caledonia announced this week that they are closing their doors, unfortunately. And so I went over there yesterday and I dropped off some information on ways and also some information on companies who are hiring here in the county so we can make sure to keep the workers who are going to be displaced in the county. So I was over there yesterday, talked to some of their folks, and so we're going to help them as much as we can as they kind of transition out the next couple weeks. So,
How many people?
I think there's about 20.
Okay.
Are you working with workforce development on that project too? Because
I know that they have. I think they've been in contact.
oh, good.
Themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
The tourism meeting, is that open to anyone who's interested to come?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to be getting some invitations once I finalize the details. We're going to be getting some invitations out and hoping to spread the word.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're doing a very good job.
Well, thank you. It's going well. So, any other questions?
No?
Okay.
Thank you for coming in.
Have a good day.
You too. Ms. Kruger, would you like to come forward, please?
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you today?
Good.
Good. We have quite a few things staffing-wise on the agenda. First of all, Human Services. We have good news. We'd like, there's, as far as 2 new hires we'd like to bring forward. One is for a social worker, it's a C41 Step 1, at an hourly rate of $19.56 an hour. The committee is recommending the hire of Shay Mahoney, effective June 24th. Would you like to just mention Shay's background just briefly?
Sure. Shay has some background with children with behavioral and emotional needs here in Minnesota in the educational setting, and in Wisconsin in some grant-funded kind of work program settings. So we are excited about his experience in coming here and joining staff.
He had excellent recommendations, and so at this time we'd like to encourage his hire.
Do we have a motion to approve the hire of Shay Mahoney?
I'll make that a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We also have are requesting the hire of Cheryl Dennett, that's D-E-M-E-T, as a probationary case aide, B-22. We're looking at a step 2 hire at $15.56 per hour, effective June 27th, 2016. Ms. Dimick comes with a considerable background in her work at Cholita Foundation as well as with REM Wisconsin, where she was a program manager. And she's been doing this kind of work for quite a period of time, quite a few years. Excellent references. And is there anything else you'd like to
So,
add?
good communication, good people skills. We are excited about her addition to the office as well.
And this is a position that is, that a lot of staff rely upon, so we were pleased that she was available as soon as she is.
Her position is case aide?
Case aide.
Okay.
Both of these that I just mentioned are probationary AFSCME positions.
Okay. Do we have a motion to?
I'll make a motion to hire Cheryl Bennett as a case aide.
I'll second.
What's her last name?
Demet. D-E-M-E-T.
Demmett.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And we have a social worker resignation who is Wendy Ruskin. Rissian. I apologize to Wendy for mispronouncing her last name. She submitted her resignation effective the end of business day, July 6th, 2016, to her supervisor, and we would like you to confirm receipt of that at this time and wish her well and thank her for her service to the county. Do you want to mention the areas that she has served the
Sure.
county residents?
Wendy started here as a children's mental health worker, and a couple of years ago she transitioned over to being our adult protection / guardianship / commitment / chemical dependency worker. So she fills a really big need, and her leaving is going to cause us to have a gap, and we are hoping that somebody will get in there as quickly as possible, because that is going to be a tough area to fill, and then there'll be an excessive amount of training that comes with that when our internal person is gone and we don't have that internal person to help with the training when a new hire starts. But we are very sad to see her leave.
Mhm. She did a good job.
I move to accept the resignation of Wendy
Rissian.
Rizian? Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And because of that resignation, we are requesting permission to approve a competitive search for this 1.0 FTE replacement at this time.
Is
I'll make
This
a
leaves us,
motion to-
you're down 2 positions. So we have combined advertising and that we have put out there in anticipation of this. Of course, we need board confirmation that we will be able to, with that pool, search this position as well out of that pool.
Is there any chance that somebody within the department will go for that? I mean, should we approve?
We have one position open.
Mhm. Just because
We have this
Wendy moved
position
from
makes
another
it
position
2.
to that position, I just want to make sure that we could keep the hiring process going smooth.
We do not advertise for a specific area of social work,
Okay.
and because they're all the same classification and wage range,
Mhm.
it is, I believe, within the department's discretion, the supervisor and the department head's discretion to move staff around, so you'd still be effectively, even if you had staff move
Okay,
around,
just want to make sure.
you would still have a net of one
Great,
opening.
okay.
And so we don't limit our advertising to the area. We certainly discuss that with folks as they come in or if they call. We talk about where the openings and needs might be. Is that?
Okay.
You made the motion, Teresa?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. You're welcome. Thank you. The second department is the sheriff's office. I believe the sheriff is here. We have a couple of cleanup items and then a hiring request. Two cleanup items. One is to amend Tyler Fabian's start date from June 21st, 2016 to June 22nd, 2016.
Sure. Motion to change the start date from 20.
Yeah, I'm just amending the start date.
That's what I said.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Secondly, to amend Dean Ott's start date from June 21st to June 24th.
All right. Motion to amend. Well, who is it?
Dean Ott.
Dean Ott, start date from the 21st to the 24th of June.
Second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And thank you for that. Sometimes it's the background checks take impact those start dates. Similarly, we are asking now for the hire of Scott Jennings as a probationary jailer dispatcher. Yep, conditioned on successful completion of a law enforcement background check. This is a step one, would be it's $20.17 an hour. It would be effective June 11th. Excuse me, July 11th.
Okay.
This one has, if the background comes back a little sooner, maybe back at asking for an earlier start date, but looks like it will be the effective start date.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to hire Scott Jennings after the background check.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's all I have for the day. Do you have anything else to share?
All right, thanks, Commissioners.
Mhm.
Did you get my email about the personnel committee?
Today,
Yeah.
afterwards, yes.
The email I just sent you?
If it was the last few minutes, no, I didn't, Commissioner.
I just wanted, I don't know, we saw that highway department meeting right after too, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna run with Steve to the highway department, but if you and Judy wanna just fill me in later.
I will send you an email summarizing
Yep,
the
yep,
meeting.
yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for letting me know.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda being placed on file.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we won't have a highway department report today, but we will next week.
Correct.
Should have.
Okay. Commissioner reports?
Me?
Yeah, would you like
Yep.
to start?
Last Thursday, we had planning and zoning, our monthly planning and zoning meeting, and the usual, quite a few building permits going on again, and we went over some proposed changes for ordinances from Aaron Locker. The meeting, it was a very good, excellent meeting. I'm really enjoying it. A lot of good talk, and Aaron really explains these ordinances well. I think everybody who was there felt like everything was covered well. I've heard comments that the members of the Planning and Zoning Commissions are all asking good questions, and there's banter back or talk back and forth about, can we do this, can we do that?
That's good.
I think doing the term limits was good to change over. And then I went to the Board of Equalization last night,
Yeah.
attended that. That's all I had.
I had the workforce development personnel meeting on Friday, and that was just, has to put the contract in place by July 1st, so that's why we had to move on that. And I can bring you the details of that if anybody's interested, but it's their department. I had the Board of Equalization last night. That was very interesting. Tom Dybig does a very good job.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. But we got two of us that need to be certified. And we do it online, and he can give you the information. I think he actually left it for you. And at our committee meeting this morning, Public Health, their intern worked on compiling all the nuisance ordinances around the county from the different townships and the county, and they're working on updating them. They're working together with the attorney's office, zoning office, and public health. You know, things concerning mold or hoarding or junk and all those kind of things need to be addressed, so. The financial part of human services, they need management tools, and they're getting the information, and that's like calendars and reporting documents that are required by the states and everything, and that's actually available through EDMS, but they just have to come up with the figures and stuff for us to move forward on it. And they got a report, and it just came through this morning, so I don't have all the details on it, but MAXA, which is a state, what am I thinking, a health program. The state is pushing for more cost sharing with the counties, you know.
Yeah, reach in your
You can
pocket
see
some more.
that coming because they didn't
Yeah.
move forward on anything in their legislative session. So it's kind of, we could see that coming, but, and that's what I have.
Oh, me, yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. I attended clerk and head judge training. It's not really county related, but it is an interesting thing. It shows you how complex the election process really is. And Board of Equalization yesterday. That was it.
I went to the planning and zoning meeting as an observer, and I like going because then I hear everything firsthand, and I think that when Aaron went through the ordinance, it was very interesting, and it's really good that we're looking at it like we are. I had solid waste annual meeting on Friday, and one of the things that was interesting is the amount of tonnage that we take to XL. Houston County has increased in the pot, you know. They're a 2% increase, so they're up to 8% now of the amount that goes over there. So that's good, and that more and more of our things are getting diverted.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very interesting. You always learn a lot. And then I had Board of Equalization also. So that was it. All right, let's approve claims, human services, and license center disbursements.
Move to approve claims, human services, and license center disbursements.
I will second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, opposed. Motion carries. Okay, is there any other business to come before the board?
Just a reminder, Logs to Lumber, I think, is on Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What is on Thursday, did you say?
Logs to Lumber?
Oh.
I can't remember who's putting it.
Forestry and.
Yeah,
And where's it at
June
again?
24th, and it's at the Michael's
Yep.
McKeel's Tree Farm.
So if you
0920 County 26. It's Money Creek, right off Money Creek.
If you go into Money Creek like you're going to the Haven, you just keep going all the way up the hill. Their place is it's a red house and red barn that's split by the highway. You can't miss it. So it's like, I don't know, a mile or two out of town, you think, Bets? 2, 3 miles? Two, yeah.
I signed up for that conservation tour too.
Oh,
that we
good, that's
talked
gonna
about.
be
Oh, I
good.
didn't, I gotta do that.
Yeah, that's a good reminder that if you want to go on that conservation tour, we need to get
I was gonna have you
signed up.
sign
It's
me.
gonna
I
be
signed
very
up right away when I
interesting.
got home last.
I'll do that.
Okay, thank you, Dana. All right, this being the third Tuesday of the month, we'll have public comment period. 2 minutes for each person, and please be respectful, and we'll call you forward. Who would like to address the board? Please come forward and state your name and township.
Brian Van Gorp, Yucatan Township. What's up with it in this county, in a county, rural county with 19,000 people, most of whom don't care to participate in their government, will not allow citizens on the agenda? You like to have the trappings of democracy, like pledging allegiance to the flag, but you don't want real democracy. Real democracy means that the ideas are debated, and those that stand up to scrutiny are the ones that win. There is no debate allowed in this county. Did you forget that this is our government? We're allowed to speak for 4 minutes per month if we're willing to wait for several hours to speak at an unknown time. We will not get any answers or feedback, no questions answered, and there is no discussion, much less debate. On the second issue, I was at the Planning and Zoning meeting on Thursday as well, and I wasn't quite as excited about it. There was a lot of talk about minors' rights, not so much talk about citizens' rights or neighbors' rights. The majority of the people in this county are not minors. They're neighbors and citizens, and their rights need protection as well. There's also an attempt to eliminate the teeth in the ordinance that still remain. For example, may instead of shall. Over the last 4 years, we've been told repeatedly that the reason for inaction is the ordinance says may. We don't have to do anything, and therefore nothing is done. It needs to be shall. And the only provision that actually allows for the termination of an ordinance when violations are discovered is being removed. This board, I'm not saying that the ordinance can't be tweaked or improved slightly, but what really needs to happen is this board needs to vote for strict enforcement of the ordinance as it stands. Because whatever the ordinance is irrelevant if it's not enforced. You 5 people need to vote for and demand strict enforcement of the ordinance. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak to the board? Any other public comment? Please come forward.
Ted Hansen, Caledonia, Minnesota. And on this highway shop, I would like to see that they just hold off until after the next election. Maybe we'll have some people in there that take the taxpayers' concerns before they go ahead and do anything.
Is there any other comments today? Anything else to come before the board? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.